In the previous example, tutorial I should say, we saw that where we ran into trouble when I tried to add iPad and iPhone a capability to a project that initially I did not choose to. So it appears that in the beginning, if I had chosen universal, then all the infrastructure was brought in and I had no problems. So obviously we want to look for a template to create a new project that actually has everything in it. So in this tutorial I want to look through and analyze each one of the templates that come with the Xcode 4 and see which one has which capability. Obviously my objective is to look for a template that has everything in it, possibly the iPhone, iPad capability. We haven't talked about the core data, which is like a database. We also want that capability. I have heard that if you try to go back and add it, it's a bear. So let's look at different ones, different projects. So I'm gonna say file, new project, and very first one is master detail application. The template provides a starting point for a master detail application. It provides user interface configured with a navigation controller to display a list of items and also a split view for on iPad. So it looks like that once we get in here, master detail test, it looks like this one gives us capability to have a universal app. That's good. Storyboards, that's core data. Okay, this one does have core data in it as well. Automatic reference counting, that's a good one. Unit tests, that would be good to have, but at least I want universal devices, core data, automatic reference countings. And if I go in here, iPhone, iPad, detail view, so if I run it, what will I get? Okay, here we go, we got an iPad simulator. Nice. It doesn't seem to be an X. I don't know what that caveat is. So I can stop it from here. Select iPhone simulator and try to run that. Here's one for the iPhone. So it has the iPhone and iPad capability, and it understands as I change the simulator to run the iPhone or the iPad simulator. Very nice. Let's look at the app delegate. Now I'm thinking that in this project I should be able to add another view, because I've been working with a single view, right? Master detail isn't really the one I want. Maybe I just want a single view, like just one screen with a button on it. So next thing I would probably look at is app delegate, see how it looks like. It has the capability to say, okay, are you using iPhone, you do this. If you're using iPad, then it does that. So perhaps I could remark these lines out, copy and paste some of this and add another view controller, and it has the X data model. So I'm gonna try that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add a single view. User interface, no, we wanna go to Objective-C class, and I'm gonna call it view1, subclass of UI view controller. Target for iPad, no, let me start with the one for iPhone, and with the nib for user interface, yes. Okay, so I have a nib for user interface, and now I am going to add a new. This time I'm going to add a new user interface. User interface view next for iPad next, and I'm going to call it view1 underscore iPad. And what I should have done is actually called this one iPhone. Now this one should already be connected, I am thinking. If I go over here, I do have the, under the connections inspector, I have the view connected. If I go over here, identity inspector, I see that the custom class is view1, which means this iPhone nib is connected to view1. So if I go to iPad, I probably don't have that. Yeah, so I'm going to change it to view1. Okay, that's nice. And to connect the other one, I need to go here, connections inspector. Actually, I need to go back in there, select it. Okay, what's going on? Okay, let's try that. Come here, new referencing outlet, drag that here. Okay, so that's how it goes. View1 iPad, I select it. I click on here, this gets selected. I don't want this one, I want to go to view. You see, if I select it, different options. I'm gonna go to file owner, drag the view over to the view, and now it's connected. If I look at it, view, referencing outlet, view to file owner. See, it was over there, now it moved down here just by clicking here. That's some kind of a view file owner. So now did that in the file, two things. File owner, identity inspector, change it to view1, then go to here and I dragged this over here. So now we got that. Next I'm gonna change the app delegate to fire that one up, and for that I need to do two things. I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna import view1. Not there, here, app delegate. I'm gonna hide that. I am using master view controller. Here, see how I'm importing the master detail view controller. I'm gonna import the other one. I could do it here or there. These are both correct. You know, you can do the import here or in here. Import view1. Now I wanna get all of this commented out. Actually, I don't need the H file because I decided to import it there. Then I'm gonna copy and paste and redo it. And if all this works, I think I've found the perfect template. Okay, there were a number of other things to be done. One is to, okay, it was so import view.h here, make a property of the UI view controller view1. That's what I'm after. Instead of the navigation controller and split view controller, I want the UI view controller as in the single view application. So I'm going to declare a property of that, synthesize that property, and change the code then in here. If it's iPhone, create an instance of view1, alloc init with div view1 underscore iPhone, and these commands just like any other. In this line, I don't believe you need. This is from the previous example, and I'm going to run it and see if it works. Okay, so this was wrong. This is the code we need. This line here, then this one, and this one is moved down there, and when I run it, I get a build succeeded. I'm gonna go back in here and take my view font, drag it, utilities, put a button up there, run it again just so I can be comfortable seeing the, okay, you see, now we got it so far. So that is good. Now if I launch the iPad simulator, I want to change the app delegate to load the other one right here. Okay, so I changed this line of code to, if it's not iPhone, then load the iPad nib. And it does load it. So I'm going to add a button to this one. There's no button here. Oh, there is. I had to scroll up a little bit. So that is great. So iPhone and iPad app capability is working. So that's a perfect template so far. And yeah, everything seems to be working. All I had to do was change these lines of code up here to load, to these lines of code for your reference. And what I did was, this project template was the master detail application, and instead of the master detail, I rammed out that code and I put my own there. But I have the underlying framework for the iPhone, iPad, universal application, and the core data so far. Okay, so next template. OpenGL game. Well, that's provided the starting point for a game-based program. But I'm not into it right now. I'm looking at business applications. Page-based application. It uses a page view controller. Okay, what does it give us? Okay, it does give us an option for universal, but it doesn't give me an option for core data. So that isn't gonna do much for me. That's a flop. Single view application we have seen. It doesn't give me an option for core data. Flop. Tabbed application. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good technique. And no core data. But it'll give me an example of how tab-based applications work. So it would be good in that respect to just learn. Utility application. Yeah, the view and an alternative view. Okay, let's see what it'll do. Oh, okay, you see this one has universal storyboards, core data. Let me try again. It was a utility application. Utility application test. You want core data? At least those universal. Next. Let me see what it does. So that's what this application basically does. There's an eye down here. If I click on it, it goes back and done, flips back. So it probably will give me, okay, if I look at app delegate, there's main view controller. Here's that little eye. I don't know what that eye is. Um, if you look at here, class is UI view. Yeah, I don't understand what this application would do and how will it be good for us, me or not. Next one is an empty application. I surely don't. Okay, what will it do for me? Okay, well, that's not bad either. Universal and core data is there. Those options are there. Empty application test. No, you see, it doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't have all the options for iPhone or iPad or anything, so that isn't good either. So I think I like the master detail or utility application. This one is good to learn what it's doing. This one is good one if start with the see what the game would do. That's about it. That's all the templates that we have.